Hi Kudo Clem, this is for your mystery Nombrix 41 signal generator problem. First of all, I really appreciate your tests that you are making on the signal generator, but I think I wrote it in your private messages. Anyway, here I have a transmitter. This is from a vintage VHF wireless headphone, which is allowed in Germany, so it has a really short antenna. And here you can see, this is for example, so it's allowed, this is saying it's allowed. Anyway, this transmitter is transmitting on this frequency, as you can see, 37.1 megahertz. So no way to pick it up with this radio. I will show you something else with this radio later. I will use the receiver because you can see it better. So, obviously this is not in the FM radio band. Here I have just sitting there and transmitting a 60 megahertz crystal oscillator. So it's just putting out an empty carrier on 60 megahertz. Let's show that. There we go. It's just transmitting on 60 megahertz. And if I disconnect it, just static from the nearby computer is picked up. So now do some math. You know this one has 37.1. I'll show you, for example, by the way. Now I'll start music and tune it back to 37.1. There we go. You can see music or hear music from this transmitter. And now if you calculate 37.1 plus 60, as you can see there's no music, you get 97.1. So let's tune in 97.1. Oh, see, now we are in the FM band. And now I'm turning off this crystal oscillator. No more signal. And that's pretty much what happens in your case, Clem. As you can see, there's no physical connection between these two things. You may ask, well, okay, this is 37 megahertz and this is 60 megahertz and you get 97 megahertz. But what happens if you have a transmitter, for example, a radio station on 100 megahertz and you tune your signal generator to like 105 and then this effect happens? Math does say it can't work because you would have 5 megahertz different frequency. You get an easy error or easy mistake there, Clem, because something else also tends to happen. As you may know, an oscillator is putting out harmonics. For example, this one is putting out 120 megahertz, 180, blah blah blah, even up to 600 megahertz, which I could show you with this receiver, but I am too lazy to tune it that far. So here's a good example what happens in your case, Clem. Here I have a transmitter, and as you can see it's 864 megahertz, and I don't want to tune that with one hand to 864. It does, of course, transmit on the frequency on the transmitter. And as you should know, a radio can't pick up 864 megahertz, because as you can see it goes from 87.5 to 108. I show you that I can receive this transmitter with this radio without any circuit modifications. I turn on the radio, and I've prepared it, of course. It's 89.7. Now I turn this transmitter on channel 3 and see here. And you may wonder why. I try to connect the cassette player with one hand, which is very hard, but it does work. So there we go. I push play. The quality isn't that good. I don't know what's wrong with this cassette player, but I mean the demonstration does work, you can hear it. Okay, why does this work? And by the way, the range isn't that good, it's just a couple of centimeters, and if I connect an antenna, the headphone jack is the antenna on this radio, if I would connect an antenna on this radio, it wouldn't increase the range. So what's going on here? Well, as you know, a local oscillator or an oscillator is having harmonics. One of these harmonics, like the 10th or so, or the 9th, I haven't calculated that, is in this frequency range of this transmitter. And also the tuned tank circuit on the input doesn't do anything here. It's just the local oscillator and mixer picking up the signal because it's transmitting from this transmitter directly into the radio circuit. So once again, if I would connect an antenna to this, it would do absolutely nothing to the range. And this is what happens in your case. You are producing a situation with your numeric signal generator and your radio that the harmonic of the numerics and the radio are somehow getting a different frequency that is exactly the frequency from, in your video, the station that is broadcasting classic music. So that's what happens in your numeric signal generator, and there's absolutely no magic going on as you explained it. Okay, I hope I could help you a little bit with that. Also, back in time, we had 433 megahertz, 70 centimeter wireless headphones, and it was a common knowledge that you could pick them up around 100.2 or so on the radio if the transmitter was within the range of 1 or 2 meters on a radio. So this is absolutely nothing special. Okay, I hope I could help you with that, Clem. As I said in the private messages, I know I will be watching your videos usually, although I'm not subscribed to your channel and I usually don't post comments. Keep them coming, I like your videos. Best regards, Stefan.